Here's a little bit of what I've been up to lately. I've cleaned out my truck. It's all nice and clean now. I've got a new seat cover. I installed it. It's different from what I'm used to. It's actually 2-piece instead of 1-piece. And I've installed my light bar on my truck. To talk about my light bar wiring really quick before I talk about the other projects I've been up to. For the light bar, I ran 10-gauge wire into a weatherproof 30-amp fuse holder, through that into a grommet into the cab, and then after the grommet through the cab, I ran it up underneath the dash and over to the power switch. I've also got a frame ground going back underneath the cab, and then I had another ground inside the cab for the light in the switch. This way, when I want to turn on the light bar, it's just a simple flick of the switch instead of fiddling around with my cigarette adapter, trying to stick it in the cigarette tray earlier and running the risk of melting my wire, blowing my fuse, and having an electrical fire. Now, I have no worries because I've done it right. You can see here the wire I got running from the grommet through the firewall up underneath the dash here and back into the dash. I go to the switch that just pulls out, and you can see I got everything insulated so it can't short out against itself and blow my fuses. My next project is going to be moving my Citizens Band radio mount to underneath my cup holder, so when I'm driving I'm not constantly getting the microphone cord tangled in the accelerator pedal, and I'm not kicking those power wires down from underneath the steering column. Another project I've been up to is I got the magnetic signs for my lawn mowing business. These signs help me advertise my business and promote my business wherever I go, because it's free advertising, and who does not like free advertising? I know I do. Another project I had this month is I got these from a friend of mine who gave them to me because he wasn't ever going to use them. So I decided, well, if I'm going to leave them installed in my truck permanently, I don't want them rusting out. So I painted them highway orange, and I got not one, but 2, 3, 4 of them. And so far they've held up pretty good. The paint doesn't come off too easily if I'm careful with them. So I use them to, if I get a big load of brush, I use them to tie things down. And another thing I've done, I've just been busier than a cat on a hot tin roof, is my cargo box back here. This was always flying up going down the highway, so I took this piece of hardware and I put a hole there and a hole there, and then I installed the hook and eyelet, and with that just bent a little bit that way, it keeps that hook from falling out and keeps this thing down while I'm going down the highway.